I haven't put up a video in a while. I was informed there a couple of weeks ago that certain politicians in Waterford, they've engaged with other parties in an effort to kind of suppress the information that I'm trying to get out there. You'll see that I've been constantly kind of writing to the Minister of Justice, Miss McEntee, about getting legal assistance, about having my case taken in front of a judge, basically, or in front of the European courts. And they're doing everything and anything in an effort to prevent this information. Number one, reaching the fucking public, and number two, reaching any kind of a courtroom. So that's what I was told, and I'm not going to say who told me, obviously, because not everyone agrees to this whole situation that's going on. And I just want to put some information out there now, and obviously I'm being kind of suppressed. If you notice my TikTok videos, the views are getting less and less, and I know kind of what's been done here. I was informed this a couple of weeks ago, so I know. So this video will probably appear on kind of other platforms. If you can share it, share it. But all I'm looking for is my human rights to be honoured. This is not a big ask. Like, the Minister of Justice should be campaigning, do you know what I mean, to get to the bottom of this corruption. She has no interest in doing anything for the citizens of Ireland. Let's be honest about it. She has knowledge regarding multiple aspects of this case, including now the whole kind of fiasco in Children's Group Link, which is run by the ex-mayor and ex-minister John Halligan's sister. Well, she co-founded it. She likes to pretend that she founded it. But I'm going to get to all of that. And I'll speak about all of that. My kind of time is pretty limited on these kind of things, but bear with me. And I'm going to put the link. I'll put the link below of Ray Halligan, which is the brother of Mary Halligan and the brother of John Halligan. And he was trying to pass a threat through me to one of the witnesses regarding the case up in Children's Group Link, regarding that place. Look, Children's Group Link, there it is there. See it? I'll read it out because it's probably backwards on the screen. Gardaí probe historical sex abuse claims linked to Waterford charity. Well, that charity was supposed to be founded by Mary Halligan. It was co-founded. She likes to say it was founded. It was co-founded. And there's a lot of unanswered questions about that. They've now named that charity the Mary Halligan Foundation. She should be made answer a series of questions. There's a lot of questions, right? I'm going to give some facts here there now, and it's probably not going to go down too well, but there was multiple girls came forward, right, regarding the same person, and everyone in Waterford, 95% of people in Waterford know someone that was affected by this, right? And this was covered up for 20 odd years, right, because let's just say political influence, right? And to call this place the Mary Halligan Foundation, when that woman, right, let's be honest about it, she knew firsthand of what was going on up there. Do you know what I mean? I know myself, and I'm putting myself out there. I can face legal ramifications if what I'm saying is untrue. But I know that someone told her, I know actually several girls actually told her face to face what was happening. I actually witnessed it myself, and I worked in there with two friends of how a certain person was kind of following the girl around, and he told her she was about 14. I actually found out only recently that he went off and he had a relationship with that girl as well. But this was all covered up. There was multiple girls, right? Multiple cases. They have it all down to one in an effort to try and protect the supposed good name of that charity. Everyone knows what was going on up there. And my point is, right, even if you say that you whittled it all down, that there was no evidence, there was evidence. People made statements, right? But just like the Bill Keneally case, whereas they got to court, these girls' statements weren't good enough to have this person kind of held before the courts because of political influence involved in the case. And certain parties involved in the charity, not only did they watch on while this person, right, carried on doing what he done, they covered up for him. And you know what he done then? He done the same again, and they covered up for him again. And then he done the same again, and they covered up for him again. And this went on and on and on and on. And as I said, 95% of people in Waterford know exactly what went on, or they know someone who was affected by this. So I believe that Mary Halligan should be called in front of some kind of a tribunal and questioned about what exactly did she know. Do you know what I mean? When did she contact Tussle? When did she contact Waterford Gardaí? Did she back out of it regarding the whole conflict of interest that would have went on in the place? Do you know what I mean? How many allegations was she aware of? Do you know what I mean? Did she systematically fucking make life hell for one of the girls who came forward? Do you know what I mean? So if I'm lying, I'm after saying enough here now, you can bring a defamation case against me. And in return, I'll defend myself in court, and we'll see exactly who's telling the truth. So this is what our Gardaí and our politicians, they've all got together in an effort to kind of suppress this information, because I'm not letting this go. There's no way in the fucking world I'm letting this go. They harassed my mother into her grave, and I'm not letting this go. And I know I probably use a lot of bad language, and I don't help myself. I'd imagine kind of my approach to this, but it is what it is. And this is a crazy situation. There's a lot of corruption involved in it. So let me just speak briefly for a couple of minutes, and I'll just show some of the documentation just to show you that there's truth in what I'm saying. That's it. There's a load of other documentations. I can't show some of it because I don't want to show too much of my hand, obviously, because these people will just doctor the paperwork to kind of to cover their arse, let's be honest. And there's other documents that I don't want to share at the moment because they blame me for a certain case falling through. But I will read these documents, which I've always said after that case is finished. And this is why there's a huge push to try and discredit me and push me out before that case is wrapped up. But as I said, to have that charity called the Mary Halligan Foundation, you know what I mean? She's privy to everything that was going on up there. You have your brother Ray Halligan going around issuing threats to people. There's a video on my TikTok, go on to my first TikTok, the link is on below it is, and you see Ray Halligan trying to pass a threat through me to one of the girls, despite bail conditions being extremely strict, and said he breached the bail conditions. But the Waterford Gardaí won't fucking do anything to police this family. Do you know what I mean? There's another brother, Henry Halligan. This person, I've sent private emails to a priest on Ballybeg. He was a family friend. He printed off the emails because he was the church secretary, and he passed them back to David Cullinane, TD David Cullinane of Sinn Féin, who's forever covering for John Halligan. And John Halligan in return does nothing but compliment himself. And if you go back, you can look at this on social media, you see they do nothing but compliment each other, because the two of these need to be called out for their fucking actions and what they're covering up. Let's be honest about it. And to get back to what I was saying, the church secretary was Henry Halligan, and he printed off the private emails that I sent to the priest, addressed to the priest, and he gave them back to David Cullinane. I had wrote in the emails about corruption that was going on in Tussla, which I'm trying to draw attention to, but I had also mentioned about how David Cullinane sent me wife a friend request, and I enclosed the copy of the friend request sent to the priest. There it is there, actually, if you want to have a look at it. Look, David Cullinane, and he sent me wife a friend. At the time, there was a load of sexual literature spread around by cronies who canvassed for him that was at the meeting me ex, being honest with you, and he sent me wife a friend request. Yeah, but Henry Halligan passed all this information back to fucking David Cullinane, and I think their relationship should be kind of addressed, being honest with you, on why he would feel the need to pass David Cullinane back private fucking messages. And after I made a complaint, and then sadly my mother passed away a couple of months after this, and she left wishes where she wanted the priest, as I said, he was a family friend, to say some prayers at her funeral. And this scumbag, Henry Halligan, John Halligan's brother, now remember, he decided to interfere with my mother's funeral arrangements. Wouldn't let me family speak to the priest, kept saying he was away, he was on holiday, wouldn't let me family. We ended up having to get a different priest now. He was a family friend, long-term family friend, but he didn't want my family and the priest meeting in case his actions was going to come to light of him printing off my emails and giving them back to David Cullinane. So I made several complaints to the bishop, and the bishop ignored me. 11 times the bishop ignored me. 11 fucking times the bishop ignored me. And there's the letter from the bishop there now, basically apologising for what was after happening. He was going to look into it, all this, and the only reason he answered me is because I went to a solicitor, and the solicitor that I went to was representing John Halligan, but the same solicitor was representing who? Bishop Alphonsus. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. What he wrote to me said he was going to look into it, and he essentially then covered the arse of Henry Halligan. He sided with political power. Do you know what I mean? The usual shit, Catholic Church siding with political power. But there's the letter that supports that, okay? And there's certain topics they don't want me going into, I can assure you that, because let's just say it would show this whole crowd in a different light. But look at what went on at Children's Group Link. Even before my stuff, this was being covered up before me. Everyone knew this before me. Look at their contribution to Waterford. Do you know what I mean? And as I was speaking then only a couple of years ago about David Conan and all this and his relationship with John Halligan, and kind of I was being intimidated, well I was trying to be intimidated by these clowns, these Sinn Féin clowns. And I'm not saying all these Sinn Féin people are like this. Certain people hid behind Sinn Féin as a fucking party in an effort to try and hide their actions and try to intimidate me into being quiet. And then there was a fundraiser down the Tower Hotel. And I put up a video. I think the video was on 87 views. And the day after the fundraiser, you can see that there. I don't know if you can see that. I put up a video, but you can see there, I think it says 10,000 views. Well, that actually went up to 14,000 views within 2 days. Obviously, it was an effort to try and intimidate me. It went up to 14,000 views, and I took the video down. But this was 2 days after the Sinn Féin fundraiser down in the Tower Hotel. But as I said, David Conan, and this is why David Conan will never ever call out the action up in children's group link, because of his friendship with John Halligan, which needs to be scrutinised. And the action of Henry Halligan passing you back documents only supports your friendship with John Halligan. Do you know what I mean? How some of the girls of children's group link that tried to come forward were threatened with alleged members of the IRA. Yet again, it all points to the same people. This all began for me with me ex fucking Tramore, being honest with you. We ended up getting roped into this religion that was run by this weirdo. That's the only way to describe this person, this Baha'i religion. And she basically lured us into it. And I left. I deemed it to be a cult. It was a cult. And I'm talking from experience. They tried to ostracize us from our family and all this kind of crazy stuff. Like I don't really like talking about this, but it's on my previous videos and the link is underneath the yokes. But this is the religion. Look, see this star there? And see it being promoted by the HSC. So this woman, she's a psychologist for the HSC. Now she had involvement with a case where I was a witness in, where she covered up, there was allegations of sexual inappropriate behaviour, let's just put it that way, against the daughter of a Tusla employee and a minor. And I was a support witness as a minor, and this woman took it upon herself to basically keep the guards out of it and silence the whole lot of it. And I thought she was a guard. I only found out the next day that she had decided that there was no guards going to be involved, that she was going to keep it internal, all this kind of weird stuff. And then I found out the dates were 7 weeks prior, so she was always going to find in the favour of Tusla. And then I found out she was employed by Tusla. So I don't know, but this needs to be looked into, obviously. But this woman lured us into this religion, and you'd probably say, how come I didn't know who she was? Well, that was 10 years prior, all this kind of stuff with the minor, and I didn't recognise who she was. But she premeditatedly, myself and me ex and the kids, and they lured us into this religion. And after kind of over a year, I left because I deemed it to be a cult. And there was a lot of crazy stuff, and I know they're trying to gaslight me and try and I don't like talking about this kind of stuff, but it's all true. And my ex is still in this. And as anyone knows, you're looking at me videos, this woman has been nothing but a fucking thorn in my side since I made the mistake ever meeting this woman. You know what I mean? And it's not like I have any kind of spite or kind of hatred. She's just a toxic human being, if I'm being honest with you. Like only recently, I was up in court for the 4th safety order for her not to turn up. And this is going to show you. This is a letter from my daughter. Look, see it? The 28th of the 7th, 2021. So this is years after, like I still with her. She sent getting the child to write this kind of fucking religious logo on the top of her letters. Do you know what I mean? That's how spiteful this person is. Do you know what I mean? And she's still in this religion. She has that tattoo on her wrist. And she appeared on the Two Norries podcast in 2022. Basically, she was platformed to tell a load of bullshit, being honest with you, and she basically implied that I was taking drugs non-stop and she had to leave Waterford over me, and I was a bad father and a bad partner. But this is a parenting agreement, and this is the 1st of April 2014, and this is her signing me over the kids for 6 days a week, fucking 6 days a week. Do you know what I mean? And then we have a message here. This is in 2017, which I've read in previous videos, saying how much of a good father I was, and if I dropped everything in court, I can see the kids again. And this is in January 2017. So what she said on our podcast about me being a fucking bad father and all these other things, well, that parenting agreement supports that message, and that message supports the parenting agreement. So it shows this woman to be an absolute fucking liar. And to be honest with you, she gives women in Ireland a bad name. But after a little stint on the podcast, I ended up having to get an apology from the two Nordies. Do you know what I mean? Nobody ever knows about this. Nobody ever knows about the apology that they had to fucking issue me. And in court then, fucking, I was trying to explain how there was all this kind of sexual stuff spread around in an effort to kind of get rid of me out of the town. All this all sounds fucking like far-fetched, but this was done. This was all put together by this psychologist, I can tell you that 100%. I spoke to this person about this stuff being done, but it was never done with the kind of help of social media before, whereas now it's been done with social media. And I'll just read a brief message. This was on social media. You should be ashamed of yourself. Tell people about yourself in 6 years for drugs and 4 years for interfering with your kids. You're a mental patient and should be locked up. Do you know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that was spread around and put up on social media in an effort to try and discredit me and stop the story coming out. But after all our bullshit in court, and I don't want to go on too much about this kind of person, I was a ward with the kids and she basically breached the orders. She put me through health records. I don't want to get into this. There's some crazy stuff. There's loads of videos on my channel. And I don't want to I'm going to put all this together and I'm going to explain the whole lot of it. But I just wanted to say, yeah, that's what's been done. And there's loads of documentation to support what I have to say. And this is why certain fucking politicians in Waterford and now have gone to other politicians throughout the country in an effort to suppress this information. Like, I'm only looking for my human rights to be honoured. Like, what's the issue with that? Like, you have a Minister of Justice that promotes kind of like access to like legal aid. Do you know what I mean? Where's the assistance now? You'll be, if you go onto my channel, if you go onto my TikTok, you'll see how many times I've kind of appealed to this woman for any kind of legal assistance, and she won't offer any kind of legal assistance. Because deep down, she knows what I'm saying is completely true. And now they've all got together in an effort to try and suppress this. And we have Waterford Gardaí as usual driving past my apartment there now, fucking with their sirens on, trying to kind of wreck me head and just clown up over me. But I'll talk about that with my wife in the next video. And if you notice my videos on TikTok, the reason they're getting less views is they're kind of suppressing this stuff. And see, all this sexual stuff that they spread around about me, they spread this after I started talking about this. After, right? I started talking about this in 2014. They spread that shit in 2016. But if you want to go and report it, I wish you would. Because you can do it anonymously. Yeah, so I just wanted to make that quick video. And I'm going to kind of, if you can go on to me TikTok, there's loads of videos there. So I'll put the link of Ray Halligan passing the threat through. I'll put the link below this video, part 1 and part 2, of Ray Halligan trying to pass a threat through me. Basically, I'm breaching somebody's bail conditions, and Waterford Gardaí didn't deem this serious enough. And I'll just talk briefly. Do you know why he passed that threat to me? And the days before that, I was after getting private emails and private messages. And they had hacked into my emails and messages. And they had read what was in the emails and messages. So they knew what was potentially what was after been said. And this is what this is about. They're worried because I have spoken in previous videos that I was going to read out these emails and messages. And they're basically messages and emails from the girls of what went on and who knew what. So they're all in panic up there. Do you know what I mean? For speaking the truth. And if I have to go to jail for speaking the truth, like, so be it. I don't want it. I have a beautiful wife, beautiful daughter. But if needs be, I will. And eventually, because realistically, like, that's what's going to happen. Because there's only so long they can kind of suppress this. Because basically, I'm not letting it go. They're not letting it go. It's too serious for me to let go. It's too serious for them to let go. So eventually, they'll probably try and kind of threaten me with some kind of prison, but I'm prepared to go to prison. But I'll go on hunger strike. The day I go into prison, I'll go on hunger strike. And anyone who speaks to me, it'll have to be someone from the European Union, because I want my human rights honoured. Do you know what I mean? Every person has a right to make a complaint and have it fully investigated without prejudice and unbiased. Do you know what I mean? And that's not what's gone on here. And our Minister of Justice is aware of this. So I'll put the video of Ray Halligan in the link below, and that'll bring you onto my channel if this is not on my channel and it's coming up on somebody else's channel. So I suppose I'll leave it there. I think I've said enough. And yeah, I'll eventually kind of like make one long video and put the whole lot up on YouTube, and you can see the documentation and the paperwork to support what I'm saying.